Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the channel on this fine Sunday evening. I just thought I'd go for a quick walk. Somebody seems like they've had their car window smashed, or something's happened there. There's all this little glass on the road. I just thought I'd go for a quick walk, get some exercise in after my heavy meal of rice, peas, and what else did I have? Rice, peas, bit of chicken, salad, coleslaw. Beautiful, beautiful food. Anyway, it got me thinking. I'm looking at some of these wonderful houses around, and I was reading an article earlier which said the average price of London homes is £678,000. £678,000. Look at that house across there. But £678,000 is an average for a London home. As you know, many of us go for millions. I mean millions. But the average price, £678,000 to buy a house average in London. I know some will say, well, you can buy some houses cheaper for maybe 400,000 or 500,000, but £678,000 average. When you take into account the average London salary, is around 44,000. It means you'd have to have 15 times that amount of salary, 15 times that of your amount of annual salary to buy a London home. 15 times. That sounds ludicrous. And even out of London, the average homes now cost about £278,000. That's out of London. The average home price about £278,000, and the average salary is just below £35,000. So you'd still need about eight. I think I'm just working out in my head. You'll still need about 8 times or 9 times salary to buy a home out of London. So it really does give you some food for thought, because when I was growing up, the banks would basically loan you 3 times salary, or maximum like 3.5 times salary to buy a home. 3.5 times salary to buy a home. And now they're offering maybe 4 or 5 times salary, but that still doesn't equate to the fact that, look at that house across there. It's like one of those multi-million-dollar homes. You can see a chandelier up there. But does that equate to the fact that something is not in line? How on earth do people afford to buy houses now, especially new people? Or is it just rich foreign investors? Is it just the multi-millionaires, the rich foreign investors who can afford to buy these homes in London? Because it's very expensive. And I'm just thinking about, the average person, average young family who's starting out in life, and they want to buy their first home. They're in the late 20s or 30s. Even if 2 of them are working, earning a pretty decent salary, it still pretty much puts them out of the affordability of buying a London home. So it's something people really need to think about when you're planning your finances. How are you going to buy a home? Or are we going to become more like Paris? Because in Paris, not many people actually own homes. I think I read once that 70% of people in Paris live in rented accommodation. 70% live in rented accommodation. And I'm thinking, is that going to be the same? Is that going to be the same for London? Where most Londoners end up living in rented accommodation, paying extortionate rents, because the rents in London are so expensive now. And even out of London, even outside of London, we're seeing the average rent, I think I was reading, was about £1,100. That's outside of London. You can imagine in London it's much more expensive. You're looking at a house mostly more £1,800, £2,000 to rent a house now. But out of London, you're talking still about £1,200. And that's not taking into account all the rest of things which need to be paid for. Council tax, utility bills, insurances, your cars to run. You can see how a UK street looks in the evening when all the street lights are on. It's dark, it's a bit chilly. I find it nice walking at this time, walking up this hill. It is nice walking at this time. So yes, it gives you food for thought. I'm not sure where you are in the world. You could let me know, drop me a comment and tell me, how are things in your part of the world with regards to accommodation, with regards to buying houses, compared to what you earn across here? Because it seems to me that people in the UK seem to just be spending most of their time working to pay bills now. Working to pay that large mortgage. Working to pay the utility bills. Working to pay that rent. That's what the culture seems like. As you can hear, there's a lot of fireworks going on in the background. It's not quite bonfire night yet, but there's lots of fireworks in the background. Can you hear that? Yeah, lots of fireworks. We have what you call Guy Fawkes tonight, where they have bonfires and blast of fireworks. Yeah, Guy Fawkes night. And that's when they have all the fireworks. Oh, if you look in the background there, you can see them. You see that? See that? There's some kind of firework. There's some kind of firework display going on back there. That's lots of money going up in smoke. Lots of money going up in smoke. Well, at least it most probably made somebody happy. So yes, going back. That's a nice Jaguar XF. Had one of those myself in black. But yes, going back to what I was talking about. The property prices, they don't equate to the salaries what people earn now. It really is very expensive to buy a home now, to buy a property now. Very, very expensive. And when you compare it with the cost of living, it is just very expensive. I know in the UK it's very expensive. So let me know if you're in a different part of the world. Let me know what the cost of living is like for you. Tell me what it's like in your town or your city in the UK. Do you find it very expensive? What's property prices like compared to your salaries in your particular town? Is it something you find manageable? Look at the gates here. Look at the gates here. Very plush. This is one big mansion house. You can see it, but it's all dark now. But it's a big mansion house. So tell me, in your in your part of the UK, we're sticking to the UK now, what's it like for you? What's the cost of living like for you? What's the rent like? What's the mortgages like? What's the property prices like? Do you think it's sustainable? Do you think it's sustainable to be going on at this rate? Anyway, just something which came into my mind. I was reading an article which said the average London price which was sold over the last 12 months was 678,000 compared to the London salary of 44,000. It just made me think, wow, how on earth do people afford to buy properties, and what is going to happen to the younger generation? Are the younger generation all going to have to leave London? Wow, and then you got people like this living in these big mansion houses. So it does make you think. It does make you think. It really does make you think. So that gave us some food for thought. It really did give us some food for thought. A typical UK houses, should I say, UK houses. This is not London, but UK houses. But it has given us some food for thought. So I would ask, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you like the videos, hit the like button, and also share the videos. You might have others who's interested in the kind of topics I'm putting up, and of course it helps the channel grow. So anyway, guys, have a great evening, have a good evening, have good health, look after yourselves, and of course I shall see you guys in the next video.